Yes. People, what's going on? It's Egal Talks Football. We're back again with another video. Hopefully, Lewis and what do you call it? CB join very soon. And I just want to say, I am looking forward to this Arsenal Chelsea game. But really and truly, both teams could have been a lot better going into this point of the season. If this game was earlier in the season when Chelsea were looking good and they're higher up the table and Arsenal were looking good and we're higher up the table, it would mean a lot more. But right now, I feel like this game means more to Chelsea than Arsenal. And I'm not trying to even make excuses. But let's get this video started. Hope everyone's doing well this wonderful Saturday morning. It's very sunny outside. It's nice outside. And you know what? I'm kind of it's kind of cool indoors, so I got this hoodie on. But let's get into it. First things first. Lou's is going to join us any moment now. CB hopefully is going to join us any moment now, and hopefully we see ourselves a good game at 1:30 tomorrow. And also, the game being played at 1:30 is kind of weird. It's probably only being played at that time because of the Carabao Cup. Usually, it would not get played at that time. That time of the day. It would be very different. But let's get this intro started. And before we go any further, I just want to say one more thing. Obviously, hit the like button and subscribe button. But friend of the show, Patrick, is currently found out that he's going through stage 4 bone cancer, and he started a GoFundMe to raise money to go to Turkey. Thankfully, he's already halfway there. So if you guys can do whatever you can by donating or sharing, it would mean the world to everybody. So please do what you guys can and donate. And if you can donate, do whatever you can to help out, because it's for a good cause, and hopefully Patrick can get through it, man. But yeah, Lewis is already in the building. Big up, Lewis. Early morning stream. I didn't think you'd be able to make it, but I appreciate it every single time.
Come on, man. I said I'd turn up for you, bro. Big up.
You know me, man. I don't ask many times. I know you're such a busy guy. Hussam also. It's been a blessing to have you and Hussam back-to-back streams. But let me say this, man. What's with the Arsenal derangement syndrome? What is going on with you?
What do you mean?
I seen you on Twitter hoping that those guys, the girl and the guy who were celebrating the Arsenal win would break up. Like, this is next level hatred. Like,
you don't know why? Because fuck them, bruv.
Why?
Look at them smiling and being happy over our demise. It's disgusting.
Well, why can't we celebrate a win against a London rival in a game where it kept us going in the title race at that point? I know we didn't win it.
I'm not saying you can't celebrate. I'm just saying I don't have to like it. I'm just saying, like,
I think this crash out
nerves. It infuriates me. It enrages me.
I think this crash out comes from the overall hatred for Arsenal. Like, bro,
and the 5-0. It's 5-0. I've never seen a 5-0 scoreline or something even close to that.
Okay, you know what? I get it. The 5-0 I get. But did you see what happened to the Crystal Palace fan who went to the game and basically went to a Palace game wearing a Palace shirt, and they said to him, "Get the fuck out of here, you're an Arsenal fan." Because on social media, he defends Arsenal in a certain way when speaking on social media.
Is it that Ollie account?
Yeah, so Ollie basically sees a lot of agendas going up against Arsenal, and he's like, why does Arsenal get different treatment from other clubs? Because right now, Man City's injured. Nobody's talking about their injuries as an excuse, but Arsenal mentioned injuries. It's an excuse. When this happens with certain teams, it's looked at as normal part of the game. But when Arsenal 18-year-old celebrates his first goal, all of a sudden he's a disgrace. Like, sometimes you do have to acknowledge that there is a media agenda against
Arsenal. And they didn't let him into the ground for that.
They tried to fight him, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is so nuts. Bro, man's tweets really caught up with him like that. That's insane. Maybe they'll do that.
Imagine if there's a Chelsea content creator. Imagine if there's a Chelsea content creator who said Arsenal would win the league, and I think Arsenal have a really good team, and started speaking about how there's an agenda against Arsenal on social media. Would Chelsea fans not be like, yo, you're not allowed to Stamford Bridge, you're an Arsenal fan, get the hell out of here?
No, I don't, like, you might get cussed out a little bit, but like they won't ban him from the bridge or try to ban him. Like that's crazy. They didn't even. They tried kick him out at the Palace ground over that. That
Bro,
is
Dawood
nuts.
went to the Manchester United game in the Manchester United end. He's a quite notable Arsenal fan. They told him you have to cover your face with a Man United scarf, or we're not letting you in.
Not surprised. Actually, not surprised with him. But it's because they know him. Like Oli, like all due respect, I think he'd only be well known at Palace like that. But Dawood, I'm not surprised people know him from other clubs. Really not shocked by that.
But
That's
hey,
why you'll never see me at another top 6 game, because like I could never get away with that shit. I've had a few mates come up to me like, "Hey, I've got a spare for this. Do you want to come?" No, I don't.
you don't
No,
want
I
to sit
big
in
up.
the away end for any game?
No, I'm not sitting with any top 6 rival. I'm not doing it.
Do you think I could pull off going to Stamford Bridge?
Hell no. Hell
Really?
no.
They would know me?
Nah, you wouldn't be able to. There'd be enough people that know you that it would be a problem. And whoever gave you the ticket would probably get banned.
All right. So before we go into the Chelsea game, bro, Conference League. What the hell's going on with the Conference League? Why are the teams in the Conference League sitting there and like in awe of Chelsea every
being
time you guys
friends.
play?
Because we're different.
It's actually
And because
embarrassing.
personally, I think they want to be a part of the multi-club model. So yeah, if we buddy with Chelsea, maybe they'll buy us and we'll get a couple of the youth players that they're hoarding in. Maybe we'll get a Brazilian or two. But that's the only explanation for it, because Servette still talk about us. Noah still love us, even though we bopped them 8-0. It's only like Ghent and...
Is the Europa Conference League the most unserious competition you've been in? Like, you guys don't even play your best players.
It's between this and the 2013 Europa League run. That'd be so real. Because at least in the 2019 run, I was like, okay, look, I'm playing Arsenal at one point. There's going to be
almost lost to Frankfurt.
Game. Yeah, I was going to add to that as well. Frankfurt were a madness that season. Like Luka Jovic, and I think they had Rebic and a few other players and all of that. But before it was basically the same. Like, we're lucky Frankfurt even turned up and showed some competitiveness, because everything else was a walk in the park. So maybe.
People, do me a favor, hit that like button. We got 38 of you guys in the building right now. We could easily have at least 25 plus likes, and then hopefully more people join in, as CB is going to be joining us very soon also. But before we go on to the next thing, bro, we play Real Madrid. What odds do you give us versus Real Madrid, man?
You don't have no chance. Like, that Atletico second leg.
Would you paint your face red if Arsenal beat Real Madrid?
Hell no.
No. Would you, if we won the Champions League?
I ain't painting my face red for nothing.
Even if you won the Champions League?
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that.
After you see me do it, you never bet a bet like that ever again, eh?
Yes, I'm playing it smart, bro, because there is always a chance in football. There is always a chance, and I will not bet against that. But I don't think you have no chance against Madrid. I've said this on back again. That second leg against Atletico just showed to me that if you sit back against Real with no intent of trying to attack, I don't know if they've got anything. I really don't.
What?
So bro, what did they do for 120 minutes at the Metropolitano?
Could it be a benefit of them knowing how each other play? Like, for example, we know how certain teams in the Premier League play, so we can maybe pull things off that other leagues and teams can't do. The familiarity might have a reasoning behind some of the poor performances from Real Madrid.
No, I can't say that I've seen like a lot of Madrid games. I'm just going off this Atletico Madrid double leg. But they didn't look like they had a single answer for the Atletico low block. So I'm thinking, like, if you were to win in the first leg, maybe you could just stink it out at the Bernabeu and leave with a 0-0. Maybe. That's why I'm saying there's no I'm not saying there's no chance of you going through. I think there's a very little chance, but if you were to leave with a 1-0 in the first leg, maybe you could see it through. Maybe.
Bro, yesterday, I was speaking with Hussam, and he said something insane. And it's not normal for him to say stuff that's absolutely, like, makes me shocked. He said yesterday, we need to start reading the room. Mo Salah could leave Liverpool and join another Premier League club. Now, My question to you is that possible that Chelsea could be with that club? And before we go any further, I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. So here it is.
Let me tell you something that you are unaware of, Mr. Egal.
Why
Because
can't I
you
put it
haven't
full
read the
screen?
room. There is an article that came out 4 months ago. Salah wants to stay in the Premier League. And if Liverpool don't offer him a contract and another club does offer him a contract,
You see, part of me feels like that's a move from Salah to try and push them for a contract. Like, oh, I could go and play for a rival and you have to deal with all of the Liverpool fans being pissed off at you while I go and ball out at Chelsea or maybe some other team. I don't really think
do you think he would go to Arsenal or Chelsea? Do you think Todd Bowley and Clear Lake would sign him?
Bro, I think we've got too many right wingers anyway for him.
Bro, you don't say no
Obviously,
to
like obviously he walks in over all of them. Let's not get it twisted, but we have too many right wingers for us to think that we would go for another one that goes completely against our youth project. So I couldn't see it. I couldn't see him joining us. Like, I'll be real, I don't see him staying in the Prem. I really don't. I think it was just like a push for them to try and get the contract sorted quicker. But clearly hasn't changed anything. So I don't know. Maybe I think also they might be being smart about this whole situation. Don't give Salah or any of them a contract until the season's finished. Let the league title be wrapped up. Well, now they're not out the UCL. Their only focus is the league. Let the league get wrapped up and then do the contract talks. Because then the contract cannot impact their performance.
Is Chelsea in the Isak race?
Is there even an Isak race? He's like worth 150 mil.
It's between Newcastle giving him a new contract, Arsenal coming in and paying the 120 to 150, Liverpool coming in paying the 120 or 150, or one of the Spanish teams coming in and paying the 120 or 150. The reality, everybody wants a striker. Barcelona, if they win the Champions League, their goal is to replace Lewandowski with Isak. Real Madrid, if they get rid of one or two of their attackers, they might put what do you call it, Vinny or Rodrigo for sale.
Anyway,
Rodrigo or Vinny could go for sale, and they can go get a striker. And then Liverpool, if Mo Salah leaves, Isak might be their guy. If Darwin Núñez and Jota leave, and somehow they keep Salah, I don't see them getting Isak. I do think the most logical option for Isak is Arsenal, and he wears the 14 for a reason. But Chelsea are interested in Isak. You're interested in Sesko. You're interested in Joao Pedro. All these guys.
I doubt we'd be interested for 150 mil. I'll be so real. But I don't think anybody would go for him at that price. I think he's just been priced out. Like, I don't see anybody paying 150 million for him. Not without brazy outgoings. Because people still got to think about FFP and PSR and all of that crap. So you can't spend that sort of amount on one player. Like, with us, we were able to do that on Caicedo solely because we sold half of our team before that point. Our sales were nuts. So you could have an incoming worth that sort of amount. I don't see who you're selling at mad amounts in the summer for you to offset that. So I don't see you getting him. I don't see us getting him. I think he just ends up staying at Newcastle. From everything I've seen, he seems comfortable there. He's never seemed to want to leave. So maybe in a year or two's time, if the contract goes down, Newcastle aren't a Champions League club or like a stable UCL club, maybe then I could see a move. But I don't see it happening now.
Do you think the Conference League and top four this season will show clear progression at Chelsea, obviously, but do you think that it would paper over the cracks of some of the major issues you've had, and your owners might not go and strengthen to the level where it takes for you to compete for the league or in the Champions League next year?
I don't know.
I've seen that happen with many clubs who've got a new ownership, and where they got to this level, and they're like, you know what, we know what we're doing now. We know how to get to this level. It doesn't take that much to now improve to the next level. And then they quickly realize, no, you still need to go hard.
See, my whole thing with the ownership, I said I was telling myself I'd know how serious they are once we get into the UCL. because like if they're serious about us winning the league, they'd strengthen off that or not. They already haven't strengthened from last season, so I don't know where. I've got no faith that they'll do it
Wait,
again,
Sancho and Neto is not strengthening?
bro. Like we barely strengthened the wings. I mean, barely. Like Neto has not been like a brazy update. An upgrade on Noni. Like he's been decent. Let's not get it twisted.
He's
He's
not
been
been better.
decent. Mid off, genuine mid off. I wouldn't argue either end.
Now
on
you
that.
understand why people like Arsenal never really went all in for him.
Now it was more the injury problems. He's not really been that injury prone with us this season, to be honest.
I
He's
know,
just not
but
really
we've
been that
realized
effective.
his end product is not as good as expected.
Yeah, but for me, I think it's again comes to recruitment, because if we had a striker that could like head or have some sort of box presence, then Neto would look a lot more effective as a result. That's why I haven't really been too onto him. It's just I wouldn't say he's been a mad upgrade either. Like I'd say Sancho has, but even Sancho's been a ghost in 2025.
You know what's
Tosin,
crazy?
Tosin ain't no upgrade. Jorgensen barely plays, although I'd say he's an upgrade on Sanchez, but the bar's so low, it's not even worth flexing like that. Mark Hughes, 18. Dewsbury Hall ain't no upgrade.
Why'd
And
you sign him?
Maresca
don't
didn't
even
even
play
ask
him.
for him. Maresca never asked for him. We could have just gone to Leicester and got Mads Hermansen and we'd be fine, because we'd have a goalkeeper that's levels clear of Sanchez.
Madness.
But no, we went for Dewsbury Hall instead. I don't
Hit that
get it.
like button,
He was
people.
in
Hit
the
that like.
middle of a he was in the middle of a medical at Brighton, and we just interrupted it for no reason.
Bro, I love the fact that Chelsea lost Roman, because post Roman, Chelsea have not shown any of the levels that you had under Roman. Under Roman, you're built like Real Madrid. Now you're built like a better version of Brighton. That's what it is. And call it whatever you want, but I do think your standards as a club has changed.
Yeah, it definitely has.
And
That's why we have to try and maintain it as fans.
Because CB and yourself would say you want to maintain it, but I think the standards are set by the owners, not the fans. Because
I mean,
because I don't think in English
you're not wrong, but it does go both ways.
I don't
Like the
think in English
the
football.
fans can decide whether they accept it and how they react to it. But it does like trickle down from the owners to the players and all of that. So I hear it.
If they say that that Maresca's their guy, and if you guys don't get top 4, they keep him, I can see a lot of your fans wanting him sacked. And also, if you guys don't win the Conference League, I can see a lot of your fans wanting him sacked. But Chelsea with the new
I
ownership,
wouldn't argue against them for either as well. So I hear it.
but Chelsea with the new ownership, I do think they would make things different. And you know what? People say I have higher standards for other clubs than my own. No, I just believe in my manager, where I don't think Lewis really has the same level of belief in his managers over the last couple of years.
See, I've got more belief in Maresca than I do for basically any manager that Clear Lake have brought in, but I won't act like he's not like concerned me a few times too, because he has.
I agree with this comment right here. No fans make the standards. The standards are set by the.
No, he's saying no. The fans make the standards.
The fans make the standards in the sense of what they will cheer and what they will boo. But I do think the owners decide if the club can get over the line or not, because there might be fans at Tottenham that think they have high standards, but it doesn't mean their club is going to win trophies all of a sudden.
I think it goes both ways. Obviously, the ownership makes standards and it trickles down to the manager, trickles down to the players. But the fans have a voice as well, a very vocal voice, and they can say whether they're satisfied with that or not. And they can actually impact things if they go about it the right way. So I genuinely think it goes both ways. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think I'm wrong.
I think the fact that Roman has left and so much has changed at Chelsea shows that an owner can not only set the standards of high achievement, but can also rip that apart.
But that's because we had to rip it apart. I don't think it was a case of like, let's take the standards away with the team. Remember, that team finished 12th. We had to rip it apart. Even under Roman, that team was overdue a rebuild. It was just Clear Lake came in and forced a hand.
Yeah, Liverpool fan here saying fans allow mediocrity. Arsenal's the best example by this. By the way, I
That's
think
why I
Ars-
can't say it just trickles down from the owners. Like, that's not wrong, but the fans can push back against it and they can make a change.
hey,
That's
bro,
why I'm annoyed that this protest went on for one fucking home game and that was it.
I think
Like, I
your
would
protest
expect
was
them to keep
pointless.
pushing it.
I'm not gonna lie. I think your protest was pointless,
It is
directionless.
now.
I think it was pointless, directionless, and I do think it was really just because the team had lost a bunch of games and some of your fans were upset.
No, you're not wrong, but like, we should have pushed that till the end of the season. Like, my whole thing was like, if you want to make a serious message, have this consistently, regardless of whether the form turns up or not. Because for me, it wasn't just a form thing; it was a lack of movement that they made in the last 3 windows. It was showing to me that these lot aren't serious. So, regardless of the form, push against them because these fuckers haven't taken the last couple windows seriously and they ain't strengthened our team.
And
But
I
here we are.
heard
Now
Roman
we look like dope.
Abramovich and Mourinho chants. Do you guys do that all the time?
Do what?
Mourinho and Roman chants
Oh yeah,
again.
Roman chants go around everywhere. Even if Clear Lake were the best owners in the world and we were top of the league right now, I'd still want Roman chants. People should never stop chanting about him. He's the reason why the club's even up here where it is anyway.
You
So
said it, not me. Fair play.
yeah, it's Roman. Like, come on, man. We know what it is. Like, we've had history before Roman, but come on. Roman's done a fucking lot for this club. So if man want to chant for him, regardless of where the owners are at, chant for him. Mourinho's the same thing. Chelsea legend. Like, he deserves his name chanted all the time too. But I think they were mainly being chanted about just because like it's a reminiscent of the good old days and everything.
Yeah, people hit that like button, guys. I said something the other day that Northside clipped up. I seen Northside's video, bro. I basically went out and I said that Man City winning the league over the last couple of years has papered over the cracks of the signs that they're aging and their team is not competitive, and I stand by that. I think people, and even Liverpool right now, Liverpool going on to win the league this season, it kind of papers over the cracks that they have a big job on their hand next summer with Mo Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent potentially all could leave, or some of them, or a couple of them could leave, and Darwin Núñez is not good enough. These guys are winning with major holes. They still have a lot of scope to improve. So it's dangerous for us if they actually go and improve. But it could also, next year, they could have a massive fall off, similar to Man City this year.
Who, Liverpool?
Basically, I'm saying winning sometimes you can still win even without your complete team. Like, you know how we talk about you need the perfect bench, you need the rotation for every piece. Obviously, you can still win without having the perfect squad. But at the same time, winning when you don't have the circumstances at the best can end up leading to you guys having a massive fall off the next year. That's why there hasn't been so many repeat champions in Premier League history, because sometimes you win because you have perfect circumstances, and then the following season you regress back to like the mean.
See, I could hear it, but again, it just comes down to if they keep their main players. Like the likes of Van Dijk, Salah, if they just keep both of them, I'd expect them to contend for the league title again, even without Trent. Trent will be a lot of playmaking lost, but you can like rectify that in other areas of the pitch. I think you can't lose Van Dijk and Salah's influence. You lose one of them, they're done out.
But am I wrong when I say my take? Because I'm pretty sure Northside was joking when he took it out of context. But what he said was, winning the league papers over cracks. I did say that, but obviously in the context of if you don't get better, or you get worse the following season, because there's still so many glaring holes in the team.
But even then, it also comes down to how everybody strengthens. Like, you didn't really strengthen like that. We didn't really strengthen like that. City obviously didn't do anything, and they didn't do anything the last 2 seasons. And like that's usually what Premier League seasons seem to become. It's just who didn't strengthen and who did. Because so many of our owners are trying to win the league the cheapest way possible. And this is our problem.
Do you think wins in games can paper over cracks, but do you think trophies can paper over cracks?
Trophies can definitely paper over cracks. Don't get it twisted.
Look at Man United.
Like, it's one of the things that you don't mind papering over cracks with. Like, we've seen it. I said that UCL papered over the cracks. Like that squad was in need of a rebuild already at that point. But Tuchel came in and was just a genius and pulled a UCL and a Club World Cup out of that squad. And fair play to him. But that midfield was overdue a rebuild. You had like 2 injury-prone midfielders and just Jorginho, who needed one of them next to him to be effective.
No,
The
but Conte
attack,
and
you know, the
Jorginho,
attack.
you got the peak Conte Jorginho, like 2 players in their peak around the same time. That was impressive. You
Bro,
guys winning the
Tuchel
Champions
saved
League.
N'Golo for me. I was cussing him out before Tuchel joined.
How do you feel when people say you fluked the Champions League?
See, like, I get why they say it, but I also don't agree with it.
Because both times seemed like you weren't nowhere near that level in the league. You were a couple years prior, maybe in the previous Champions League, but this one you recently won. You were miles away from your last title-winning team. You kind of had an attack that nobody rated at the level that to go win the Champions League. Let's not get it wrong. I also think people underestimated how good Christensen and Rudiger were at the time, and how good your defense was, because that was one of the
It was
best.
Lampard tax.
And
But like,
and
this is the thing. There's a
and
similar
Mendy
blueprint.
coming in and just being like, "I'm gonna win you the Champions League, and then I'm gonna dip." Like, wow, like you definitely fluked the Champions League, but
It's
at the
not a
same
fluke.
time,
We had the best defensive record since '94. You don't fluke that.
do you think it had something to do with Roman knowing that the sanctions would come and he would lose the club? You guys,
Nope.
he's like one last hurrah.
Nope. I will say it is very poetic that Roman left us as champions of the world. And I love that. I hate that he left, but if you leave us at the highest point, fair play. But no, this is all just it's systems. Like Lampard's system ripped our midfield apart and left our defense exposed. Tuchel's system was defensively solid and with a strong midfield that allowed us to progress very easily. The problem was just we had no forward line. Like, I don't think it was a fluke us winning it. Like, we beat the Spanish champions. We beat Real Madrid. We beat Porto, the Portuguese champions. We beat the English champions. Yeah, like we beat the best teams to do it. We didn't fluke that one.
You did good. And
the first one, that's just straight defensive willpower and just like concentration and composure on 150. These men just refuse to get beaten. In spite, like we go and play the best Barcelona team, and we just say, "All right, cool. We're just gonna sit back against you and just hope we get one chance." We got 3, and we took all of them. That was just it.
I don't know how many times I woke up to watch Chelsea back then when I was a kid, and those games would be like very, 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 very like low action at times in those tough grind out games. But fair play, you guys got the results. What was I going to mention? You mentioned something, and I was about to jump. Forgot exactly what I was going to mention.
The champions.
Oh yeah. So with what was it? Champions League or honestly, I fully forgot. But let's just
remember it in a few minutes.
Yeah, but let's just go back. Let's just go back to the game, bro. This game is like it's a big game. Don't get me wrong. Chelsea Arsenal is always going to be a big game, but it's not. It doesn't feel like the Super Sunday. There's a cup final. There's Manchester United playing at like 7 o'clock. We're playing at 1:30, and there's another game going on at the same time. It kind of feels like it's not as important because there's so much other things going on.
See, yeah, that and also just the way both our seasons are going. Like, it's just more important for us than it is for you, to be honest. Your season's basically done. Now, a loss would drag you into the top 4 race, but I don't think you're going to ever drop out of top 4. So you just be there. But yeah, that's it for us. Like, top 4 rides on this.
I figured out what it was.
Rides on it.
I remembered what it was. That game where we beat you at the Emirates 3-1. You go on to win the Champions League. We go on to keep Arteta, start Project Youth, and build a team around Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe. Crazy.
That was a game where a lot of people started to turn on Lampard. I remember that. We played 2 injured fullbacks in Chilwell and James. We got cooked on the wings. And then we had Werner on the left with Chilwell. Like, we were just asked to die with wing play.
That is the game where I felt like Arteta was close to getting sacked.
Oh, yeah, if he didn't win that game, he was probably off. And if Lampard won that game, maybe he stays. Because
But at the same time, watching the All or Nothing, they always said that there was never any inkling that they were going to sack Arteta. So I feel like they have to say that, but at the same time,
yeah, I was going to say, like, it's pretty easy to say it coming out of that game.
Yeah. Let's move on to the actual game itself. Who do you have injured for this game?
So, who do we have out for this game? Jackson and Noni, they're both out. Mark Kiyu. And I think that's it. Oh, we've had a good chunk of players return in time for this game. So I think it is just them two. Now, it's a shame we didn't have Jackson, because if we have Jackson, I'd feel a lot more
It's a shame we didn't have Kai Havertz. He loves scoring against you.
It's one game, to be fair. Although I don't think Jackson scored against you lot either. He's just very key to how we build up. So if we had him, my confidence skyrockets a little bit more.
So does Cole Palmer's. I do think they coexist. The two of them going down, they're a good duo. They work well together. They work very well together.
They've been the best partnership.
They have an understanding.
Yeah, they've been the best partnership in the league since last season, since the start of last season, I think. So, that's why I've said part of Palmer's form.
Anthony Gordon, Isak is up there too.
I think in terms of goals and assists, I think it's both of them.
Oh no, Foden and Haaland. I forgot about that.
Are they the highest goal scoring pairing since then? Obviously things might have changed over the last.
Man won player of the season, and the other man got 30 plus goals. It's not even close.
No, I remember a few months ago, it was Jackson and Palmer were the highest combination leading to goals.
You don't have as many injuries as I thought. And by the way, who's this
NPC? Players coming back at the right time, innit?
Who's this NPC, bro?
Who? Oh, Sonina. That's one of our 10 goalkeepers.
What the fuck?
Gusto,
this guy still plays for you?
We brought him back on loan from, was it Gotsepe? Some Turkish team. And he's out for the rest of the season.
To get medical service done.
Yeah, he's out for the season anyway, so no one will see him.
Mark Gui, you know what? I don't know enough about this guy to say if he's good or not. All I remember is the goal that he missed. The goal that he missed.
He runs relentlessly, and that's about it.
Be honest though, this is a big miss for Arsenal. Kai Havertz, Saka, Jesus. That is a big attack.
Saka.
No, but the other two also, because of it, there's no rotation.
Bro, Gabriel Jesus has been cheeks for ages. And Kai Havertz, you already know I don't rate him.
Bro, Gabriel Jesus probably has more goals than Neto. How many goals does Neto have?
Neto's probably got 2, 3?
That's
goals. Not a flex.
Neto has 3 goals. How many goals does Jesus have? Jesus has 3 goals. Crazy.
So he's got the same as he's been cheeks for a minute, man.
Gabriel Jesus, he barely played. He started 6 games. He played 17 games.
No, but even last season, I weren't really that worried about Jesus.
Last season,
Jesus ain't been great for a minute, bro.
What did he?
And you already know, I don't rate Havertz. So
last season he got 8 goals, 8 assists in the league.
And the assist ratio is actually pretty decent.
He got 5 goals, 5 assists, 4 goals, 5 assists in the league. 4 goals, 3 assists in the Champions League. He was balling in the Champions League for us. In 8 games to get 7 goal contributions is impressive.
I'm sure all of that was group stages though, but hey.
Yeah, I don't think he scored.
22-23. Jesus was on smoke. We won't get it.
And he got injured too. The guy just keeps.
He ain't been the same player since then.
He keeps getting injured. That's the problem, bro.
22-23 was when I'd be worried about Jesus. Not now.
All right, let's look at the predicted 11. Nice to see Fofana's back. I actually like Fofana, man. He's one of my Muslim brothers.
Quality centre back. People have just
I root for him.
Injury records.
Even though he's a Chelsea player, you know what? You do have some likable Chelsea players. I like Fofana. I like Cole Palmer. Who else? Caicedo. hit or miss if I like him or not. Depends on
I'll
his
hate
attitude.
Caicedo. Unless he's kicked one of your midfielders, then I understand.
Yeah, unless he's doing a mad red card challenge, you really can't hate on the guy. But yeah, I do think you have about 3 likable players. I don't know who you used to have more. So hey, there you go. I don't really rate Jackson. I don't really like Jackson, but I do kind of see a lot of people hate on him. So I get into a situation where I'm more defending him against other people. But there you go. You probably have Arsenal players that you think are likable, like Saka, Ethan. You probably
Yeah,
don't like
Saka's likable. I mean,
you probably
Ethan,
don't like
he's
Miles Lewis
17.
Kelly.
Don't mind him. I like shithousery in football. I thought a lot of people getting at him for that Haaland celebration. It's like, look, you man talk about how football's becoming more like watered down and there's less tribalism and that, and then you get annoyed when Lewis Skelly does the Haaland celebration. Who
So
cares?
tell me, do you not have any Arsenal players that you think are likable besides Saka?
I mean, I would have put Lewis Skelly up there. I like a shithouse. I don't. As obviously, you don't like it when it's against your club. Don't get it twisted. But like, I like a shithouse. Who else?
Ethan?
Yeah, Ethan's all right, but like 17. I've only seen him for like the best part of 2 months. He's just I'm indifferent to him. And
Saliba?
Saliba, but Gabriel, I could just rate their defensive work. I rate their game, and
Yeah, there you go.
that's about it. That's probably about it.
Yeah, I rate Konate. I rate what do you call it? Like certain players from other teams, but it's not a thing where it's like I also like them as a because I don't know. I have this thing like don't you rate Isak because he's East African?
Oh yeah. East African
what I
king,
mean?
man. That's my
So
representation.
so I
As long
kind of
as he
rate
don't go Arsenal, I'm cutting ties if
yeah.
he does that.
So I kind
Immediately.
of root I kind of root for players based on certain things. And I think religion comes into it because if you are the same religious background as me, I just root for you for naturally. It's just
No,
like
I hear that. I hear that. Like
yeah.
it's
So
something
like
that you relate to. So I
yeah.
hear it.
So when you had Rudiger, Conte, Hakim, what's it called?
Ziyech.
Hakim Ziyech, I was like, yeah, Chelsea have too many likable players.
I
Chelsea
hear
have
it.
too many likable players, and Konate is one of those guys I like. I'm saying a nice thing, and you're still saying living rent free. What's wrong with you guys? I can't say something nice. Crazy. But yeah, we got
fucking hell.
107 people in the chat. Do me a favor, hit that like button, guys. It helps out the channel massively and it drives
Run
more
it up.
traffic to the channel. So do hit that like button. Lewis, next thing. Chelsea's recent first of all, let's do the lineups. This is what the predicted lineups are. This is how they're predicting the lineups. So you got Arsenal. They're gonna have Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori with Raya in goal. Midfield is gonna be the Odegaard, Rice, Partey, and then Trossard, Moreno, and Ethan. I don't know if Martinelli is gonna start this game, but even if I don't see Sterling starting, and Martinelli's just coming back to full fitness, so maybe he plays half the game.
In
What
terms
about
of
your
our
team?
lineup, I could see Lavia in the team, and past that, like I don't think there'd be any other real changes. But Lavia has to get in the team.
Is Lavia fit?
I'd assume so. Like I would expect that our aim has been to get Lavia ready for this game specifically, and that's why he hasn't played before. Lavia
So
can be thrown into a game. You don't need sharpness like that.
Okay, so you put Lavia in Enzo's position and you move Enzo to the 10?
It's weird because we set up differently. We set up in like a 3-2-4-1. So
How did you set up when you last played us?
it would have been similar. No, they just put us in a random like 4-2-3-1 formation at the start, but it's never that.
This is how you played. Where was Enzo then?
No, because we had Gusto invert into the 10 with Palmer to make it a 3-2-4-1.
Oh, so you're gonna pick Caicedo at right back.
That might be what we do. Maybe Caicedo right back, and then we put Lavia in with Enzo in the midfield, and then Caicedo would invert in, and Enzo would have the license to roam further forward. Maybe that would be what we do. Then take Lavia off at some point in the second half and bring Reece James on.
You see,
I was
fuming in this game because the defending for the Neto goal was bullshit from the players. Plus,
bro, same thing for your goal. We all fell asleep.
Plus, no, but it was a beautiful back pass. Yours was literally a shot from distance.
Which one? Oh, the Odegaard pass.
The pass to get Martinelli open was beautiful. Neto,
Yeah, but like the whole defense falls asleep.
Neto's XG on the goal, bro, was like, what was it? Fucking the XG on that shot was like 0.2. The chance of that goal going in again is very low.
It was nuts. It was fucking nuts. But even for your goal, it was
like Martinelli's goal was a tap in, bro. I would expect that to go in.
Nah,
yeah,
man scored from the byline.
23% of the time, bro. That should go in.
Bro, he shot from the byline and Robert Sanchez still let it in.
The pass was beautiful, though.
No, I'm not saying nothing about the pass. What I'm saying is that the entire defense was sleeping. Noni wasn't tracking back and left Martinelli free. And then Sanchez decides he can't even save a shot going in from the byline. It's just bozo moments everywhere.
You know.
Good pass, don't get it twisted.
This Chelsea game kind of fooled me because I thought you guys were showing improvement against the bigger teams and you'd get better performances from them. But outside of Arsenal, how many big teams did you get results against?
It's just Tottenham. But here's the thing. Like, we looked that good because we had Lavia and Fofana in the team. Losing them has just killed our aggression and our ability to play high up and still be able to defend. That's why I'm so glad the pair of them are back for this game. We needed both of them back. Now I have a bit of optimism that we could take something from this game. Fofana means we can recover, and he also brings us the aggression and the ability to carry.
But you also don't have Jackson, so is Cole Palmer going to play striker? And also, Cole Palmer doesn't show up. Cole Palmer doesn't also step up in these games, bro.
I mean, he weren't here last season, so hopefully he does wake up. But
yeah,
he needs to get himself up to form. I can't really argue against you. Like, he's been in the worst form of his Chelsea career.
I understand 23% is not high XG, but compared to 0.2, that is miles better. That was what you're
same though. Wouldn't that be like 0.20 compared to 23?
0.02.
Oh, 0.2. Okay, cool.
Yeah. 0.02. That was the difference between the two of them. But hey, so I'm not gonna lie, I would not be surprised if Lavia is there. You guys could definitely get something out of the game because defensively you're going to be a little bit more solid with Lavia there. If Lavia is not there, I do expect it to be a much easier game for us because I don't think you guys are going to come to our ground and be defensive. But with Lavia and Caicedo, you have that shell in the midfield. You can be a little bit more defensive. Where with Enzo, I don't think you can be as pragmatic in the midfield.
Like we be pragmatic in general, but just pragmatic through like trying to retain possession. That'll be where we try and get our control. Again, now with Fofana, now we could actually like deal with counters a lot more sufficiently. So yeah, I'll be real. Optimism's a lot higher. I don't expect us to walk in with a win, but I'd be annoyed if we left with a loss. Like, we should be leaving with something.
Most betting odds would probably be draw, or Arsenal win. What do you think?
I'd think a draw. Like, I want to win. If I had to like bet on a result, I'd bet on a draw. Like, both of us just cancelling each other out.
You know what? The thing is, draw usually gives a higher return. The odds of a draw is lower, no?
Is it?
Usually, odds of a draw is lower than. I don't gamble, but I think if you do, wouldn't the odds for a draw be lower? Because usually they would expect a winner, no?
Nah, because it depends on the game.
Oh shit! I'm looking at it right now. Chelsea are underdogs, and they're basically saying the odds of Arsenal winning, the home team winning, is the favorite. Chelsea are the underdogs, and Arsenal undefeated in 17 of their last 18 games in the Premier League. Arsenal have scored over 2.5 goals in 7 out of our last 8 games against Chelsea in all competitions. Wow.
Oh, shit.
Arsenal have scored at least 3 goals in the last 3 home games against Chelsea.
Yep, that's about right.
And Arsenal's record currently against Chelsea in the last 6 matchups is 2 draws, 4 wins. No, 2 draws, 4 wins, yeah. So they're basically saying, Chelsea, we've had the better of you the last 6 games. You haven't won 1 game. Mental.
Yeah, you have. Our last win against you was in 21-22.
Wait, it's more than 6 games. Your last win against us was when? The Lukaku.
Yeah, 21-22.
Nuts. I haven't even thought about that. And then
Yeah, it's been a minute still.
And then
Been
what
way
would
too
what would
long.
you say your biggest weakness is your defense? Our biggest strength is our defense, with both of our attacks being weak.
I wouldn't even say it's our biggest weakness is just being bozos. Bozo
Yeah,
moment.
so your defensive errors, avoiding individual errors would be your biggest
Mhm.
mistake.
Like defensively, we're not bad. It's
Are
we
you
will make
good at stopping your
mistake.
opponents from creating chances?
What?
Are you good at stopping your opponents from creating chances?
I actually think we're relatively good at it. It's just we will make bozo moments, and it will lead to big chances that we usually concede off. Like we've conceded 2 goals in our last 5 home games. One of them was Colwell just passing backwards to Bowen, and another one was Sanchez dropping a cross from a corner against Wolves. That was it. Bar that, we haven't conceded a goal at home in our last 5. The last
Maresca
goal we
said
conceded
Sanchez is
away.
starting. We're already 1-0 down. Says C. Big up. Big
Here
up,
we are,
C.
innit?
Guys, why am I
Yeah.
shameless? What did I say that's shameless? Please remind me, Malcolm. Please remind me. Self-sabotage. I don't know,
That
man.
is us. I
What
could see us go
what
1-0
does
up, do
Sanchez?
something
What
stupid
quality
and
does
get an
Sanchez
equaliser.
bring? What quality does Sanchez bring that other keepers don't have for him to keep starting?
Honestly, he's a good shot stopper. I guess he might be better at cross collection. He might, but he's just a dumbass.
He's good at defending long
stupid.
range. So you guys solved the Kepa problem.
But he's stupid, and like this is my problem. For all of the good shot stopping, you could just pass the ball to Wanyeri out of nowhere and concede a goal. He's just a dumbass.
He needs to focus. Concentration's key in football. That's why we got rid of Ramsdale.
Tell him that, or maybe he is concentrating. It's worse than I thought.
Ramsdale was looking at a pigeon as a defender, as an attacker is coming to strike a ball at him. Like that was Ramsdale's problem. Concentration. He even said it on a podcast. I think that was the day Arteta said this guy's got to get out of here. He's a bozo. Because he's literally saying, "Oh, if you ask me to concentrate for 90 minutes, I can't do it."
Yeah, that's like one of the biggest L's I've ever heard as a professional player. How do you say that shit in public?
He's like,
how do you do that shit?
I have to get myself excited with the rival, with the crowd and everything. That is the moment he lost his job. Like, what was he doing? And I think that's when people finally realized, yo, this guy might actually not be it. Because he came back, he was looking shaky. But yo, score predictions before we go. We got 10 minutes before I gotta get back to work.
If we win, it will be a 2-1.
Paint the picture, not just the score. How is the game gonna go?
Chelsea take the lead. We give away a dumb goal because we always give away a dumb goal. And then like late winner for the Chelsea. If we win, it will always be a 2-1. I do not see us keeping a clean sheet against you lot. I barely ever predict clean sheets. I only did in the last 2 games because we played Southampton and Leicester. So I'd say 2-1 Chelsea.
I would say 2-1 Arsenal. And I'm looking at Chelsea. I respect Chelsea's team, but I just don't think you guys have the team to hurt us in the attack the way you could have earlier in the season. And I don't think your defense is good enough to keep goals out either. You're gonna play attacking football a little bit more than other teams. You're gonna open up and you're gonna give us space in behind, which will then allow us to get the ball up the pitch faster. And in the case that you do win the ball, we'll be able to win it back quickly with our counter press. So I do think it's going to be a situation where we get our goals from a counter press, where we win the ball high up the pitch, similar to against Man City, and we quickly counter and get a goal. It's in the back.
Knock our counter press though, especially with Lavia and Fofana in there.
But we don't really worry about teams pressing us. If you press us, it actually benefits us, gives us more space. Ethan, Declan Rice, and Trossard are going to be the guys who I'm looking at for. It's going to be 4 actually. So Trossard, Ethan, Rice, and Odegaard. Those are the 4 players that I feel like can impact the game and help us get the win. Moreno and Partey, one is consistently good. The other one consistently, I don't know what the hell he's going to give me. So I'm not really going to talk about them. If Odegaard steps up and he continues to do what he can do, we win the game. Ethan, he's going to cause you problems for the 90 minutes. I don't have any question about that. Rice, he's going to cause you problems for the majority of the game. I don't have any questions about that. Trossard is another question mark. If Trossard has a good game, it's light. Like the guy can score win a game by himself. Odegaard, same thing. So those are the two guys I'm looking at.
Because Cucurella and Caicedo have been our players of the season, so I expect them to have good games.
And who are the two players who, if they turn up?
To be honest.
Who's the two players, if they turn up, you guarantee a win?
Pedro Neto and Cole Palmer. Because I know Cucurella's turning up, I know Caicedo's turning up, I know Enzo's turning up.
Yeah, same. I know my defense is turning up, and I know Partey's turning up. I know what do you call it? Rice is gonna be there. And I know
I'm throwing Sancho in there too. I need him to wake up as well.
The only unknowns are Moreno, Trossard, in my opinion, and Odegaard. Those are the
Ours
three.
is our whole attack. The whole attack.
Even
none
Ethan,
of them are in form like that.
Even Ethan is not really unknown. How do you guys do against tricky wingers? Ethan's tricky, bro.
Bro, I'll be so real. I don't think Nwaneri's crap at all, but I do expect Cucurella to deal with him. I'd be disappointed if he didn't, because Cucurella's been one of the best in his position this season and one of the best for us. Like, Nwaneri's a good player. Don't get it twisted. Like, I've been very impressed with him, but I expect Cucurella to deal with him. Like, I just seen him deal with Saka in the last game, and like they usually have good rivalries. Saka v Cucurella is always a great battle. But I expect Nwaneri to be easier to deal with as a result, because we know what Saka's on, and it's a different level.
If both of our attacks are weak, I back my defense in midfield over yours right now.
If both the attack midfield, I'll back mine over yours. Defense, I understand. I completely.
I know, but your
understand.
midfield is complemented by the defense. Let's not act like I think
it's the other way around. I think the defense is complemented by the midfield.
Either way, we have a solid base in Rice and Partey, and we have a solid creator in Odegaard. I feel like
I hear it, but our midfield's our best part of the team. Like, I'll put our midfield against anybody's in the league and say I believe it's better. Anyone's in the league,
but they can easily get let down by the defense. That's why I'm putting those two together. Your goalkeeper.
That's why Lavia is so important.
Your goalkeeper could literally give the ball away and fuck the midfield. Like it's not even the midfield's fault at that point. Anyways, people are saying facts, Lewis. I don't know. I just think Arsenal's team is superior still to Chelsea, and I hope they show it on the weekend.
I don't think it's superior. Is as superior as you think. For me, it's just the defense.
Bro, the last 2
seasons aren't saying anything.
The last 2 seasons, we have been 66 points ahead of you. Total.
The last what?
If you combine the points totals for the last 2 seasons, difference between Arsenal and Chelsea, it's a total of 66 points.
You know, I'm gonna say last season was hefty potch tax, though. This season, like I think it genuinely just comes down to your defense. I really do. Like last season, like your defense will always be levels clear of us. I will never try to argue that down. The attack, though, on form, ours would be better, but that's when they're on form. And the midfield, I believe ours is better, even though, like, your midfield's good, so I won't say it's by much, but I think our midfield's still better than yours. And obviously, you have the better goalkeeper. Those are the 2 areas that you clear us on.
Hey, and just to let everyone know, in case anybody was wondering if CB's coming out, unfortunately, his connection is not let him down today, so he's not going to be able to make it. But we'll definitely organize something in the future. As for you, Lewis, big up. Thank you for joining me, and we'll catch up. We'll catch up on A-listers on Monday. And I don't doubt for 1 minute that Sunday is going to be an interesting game, and there's going to be some ups and downs. Let's just see where it goes. And I went with 2-1 Arsenal. You went with 2-1 Chelsea. You know what's going to end up happening? We're both going to end up being wrong at some point.
We'll end up being a draw.
And it's going to end up being a draw or something. But hey, there you go. You have yourself a wonderful day, guys. Big up Lewis. Big up everyone in the chat. Please do hit the like button on the way out, and do subscribe to Lewis's channel also. The link is in the description right here, people. Peace.
Cheers.